Hey, Sagittarius, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your October 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right. Sag, some of you are on a mission this month, and I feel like the mission is really to eliminate, not so much eliminate toxicity as you have with the detox, and it does say eliminate toxicity. What I'm getting is facing through some sort of fears or toxicity, because that in itself is going to shed light on a situation that has been troubling you or challenging you. It could be health. It could be a partnership. It could be finances. It may be fully gaining knowledge in a situation or area that you didn't have all of the information. You didn't have all of the facts, all of the evidence, because you also have shadow work coming in here. And I feel like this is a month where you really hit some big breakthroughs because you've been soul searching. Yeah, look at that. You have the judgment. This is the call. This is the awakening. You're undergoing a massive spiritual rebirth here. And I feel like you've learned a lot about yourself in the process. You've learned a lot about your journey, what you commit to, what you want in your life. And some of you, it is going to require you facing the shadow. And this has been a common theme for the month of October, the light and the shadow, because when we encompass all of it, instead of trying to eliminate it or trying to run from it, hide from it, you can't do that when you have the judgment card showing up. You see Alice there. She's coming face to face with that Jabberwocky, that big old dragon there. There's nowhere to go but to face something. And I feel like this is big. This is big because on the shadow card, this is about doing the inner healing. You know, some of you have suffered from post-traumatic stress. You've suffered from addictions or buried emotions or traumatic experiences in some way, shape, or form. And I do feel like there's some sort of partnership here that could be coming in, if not already, and really helping you face something quite difficult or challenging. Some of you have a bestie coming in, or this could be a lover, or it's someone that you currently have that really helps you out. You're able to rely on them. You're able to trust them. And I see with the Strength card, you are overcoming some big fears. So I'm proud of you. Bottom of the deck, you have the 9 of Pentacles and 5 of Swords. It's in reverse, which is good because some of you, you're not letting other people take advantage of you. And I also feel like you are taking advantage of the resources and the tools available to help you grow and evolve. So 9 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck is, and then we have Justice right behind it with the Fool. So 9 of Pentacles is creating a life that you love, Sag, a life that you're proud of. It is overcoming, obstacles. 9s are completions. And I feel like there's a judgment call, a second chance being offered to you in Libra season with the Justice that brings you this opportunity to rebalance the scales, realign your energy in some way, and take a leap of faith moving forward with the Fool. There's a big beginning coming in here for you. Wow, this is a big month, and I feel like it's a big month for a lot of people. A lot of people. Now, there has been setbacks. There's been setbacks for you. I feel like some of you tried to have a new beginning, but there was an unlearned lesson or there was some sort of bypassing that had caused the setback or caused one to kind of go back a couple of steps instead of feel like you could finally push forward. But this is the month where, the work is being done. Something is being looked at on a deeper level. There's answers. Look at, you have the student coming up. There's something you're learning that you didn't have access to prior. And I feel like that's going to be the key that unlocks this second chance or this full energy of a new beginning. If you've had health issues, we're going to look at health, of course. We'll look at wealth. We'll look at love. We'll look at all areas. But if you have had some health concerns, I feel like you're taking health into your own hands. But I also see you using the resources potentially of, this could be a natural path or additional forms of therapy. This could be alternative medicine. It could be Reiki. You could be reading up on health, maybe healing with foods, healing with juicing. I am getting showing up here. So medical medium, which is someone that I really enjoy connecting to the energy and reading and receiving messages as well around healing the body through foods. So some of you are really looking at your issues or health concerns, and I feel like you're finding answers this month. You're definitely finding or seeking some answers, which leads you to trying something new. And by doing that, I feel like you're going to receive new results or different results than originally. Now, detox is really standing out. So some of you are eliminating something from your diet. Okay, you could be cutting back on sugars. Some of you are cutting out alcohols or processed foods. You may be trying to eat cleaner. Some of you could be jarring. I'm getting a lot of jars. So maybe you're canning or you're preserving or freezing food. And there's a lot of jars in this picture. Perhaps you're going on a juice cleanse. If this has to do with people, because I see the 5 of Swords here. So some of you are dealing with people who, they were just ruthless. Some of you were really frustrated by people who were incompetent. Okay, people who, you would maybe give a small task to, or you would talk to, and you're like, what is happening? It's like I'm talking to a brick wall here. This person is just, they do not understand. They do not get it. What is going on? And you may have even wanted to withdraw or bring in your energy from these individuals or from this source of incompetence here. I just feel like you're wanting to withdraw. And when the 5 of Swords shows up, I definitely feel like there's been a little bit of manipulation, possibly deceit, or someone taking advantage of your time. I'm getting taking advantage of your money. Now, this could even be, now don't shoot the messenger here, and a lot of you watching, you're already aware, but it could be a professional taking advantage of, your money. And we see this from time to time, whether this be a health professional throwing out a Band-Aid by taking this pill, right? Take this pill, but it's not the underlying issue. Therefore, you're going to take this pill and you're still going to have this problem, but we'll just put a Band-Aid on it for now. It could be going to a dealership and someone taking advantage and saying, well, really, you need to get this, this, and this done on your vehicle, but it could just be a simple oil change. So don't let others take advantage of you. And I feel like you are intelligent. You are someone who, you feel when things are off, Sag, and I feel like you're not going to let people take advantage of you. Maybe that has happened in the past, but I feel like the Judgment card is saying those people or that energy is going to come up to their own karma or their own judgment day. But you've been a good person. You've done good deeds. I feel like you've tried to help others. You've tried to help yourself. And that's why when this judgment comes calling and you have to face everything, I feel like this is good karma. It's a rebalancing of the scales where a lot of you put in so much work, you put in so much commitment, and you've been saying, when is my time going to come? When am I going to be able to feel better? When am I going to be able to commit? When is there going to be partnership? When am I going to catch that break in my career? Some of you are feeling downright exhausted. Maybe sleep. Sleep could be an issue here as well with the shadow. Some of you may even feel like you are having nightmares, tossing and turning, restless leg, sleep apnea. And I feel like you are getting answers, which is really good. I mean, answers allow us to feel more in control, and knowledge is power. Knowledge can help us feel empowered, but sometimes knowledge can also send us down the rabbit hole, and it's important to be in the energy of discernment, okay? Now, even though detox is your third card up, they're really highlighting this, and I feel like this is a big energy for you this month, Sag. Is also about looking at some of your own shadows and saying, wait a second, why is this replaying out, right? What do I need to do to stop this pattern in its tracks? Maybe the pattern is codependency. Perhaps it's, an insecurity that you have that holds you back. It could be a limiting belief. It could be perfectionism. It could be some sort of traumas or fears that stop you in your tracks due to, post-traumatic stress. It's like you're living in that memory once again, and it feels very, very real, although it's not real, right? It feels real because that's what post-trauma is. It brings us back to that moment. The body reacts as if we're in that moment. And I feel like you're finding ways and solutions to look at that fear head on, because when you do, you're able to light that up. You're able to embrace it and say, okay, I understand what's going on here. I understand that this is a trauma response. And once you understand it, you have more control over how to work with this energy. So this is quite profound for those of you who, you're researchers, you are scholars, you are someone who wants to learn all that you can. I also see if you've been facing some sort of trouble, this is the month where it peaks. We're doing it or we're not, right? I'm working with you or I'm not. I'm in this relationship or I'm not. The judgment is saying here, I'm facing something head on. And I feel, Sagittarius, I feel like this is you. You're the one saying this because you're stepping into this strength with the strength card here. Some of you may have strong Scorpio placement, strong Leo in your chart, but I am getting a judgment being made, and I feel like this is on your end. Of course, roles could be reversed here, but I see you educating yourself enough at this point to be able to make this call. And some of you, this could even be, I'm going back to school or I'm not. Right? It could be I'm writing this memoir or I'm putting it aside. I just feel like there's a finalization or some sort of decision being made that's going to change and alter your life. This isn't something small, right? Not only do you have the Judgment card, you have the Hierophant. Whatever this is that you are making a judgment call on, or this, bum, 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 the horns are blowing on that judgment. The dragon, the Jabberwocky, he has his big old flame of fire here, and this is going to recommit you to a new path that you take for the rest of your life, right? This is you committing to a new path. This could be you committing to a new career, a new way of thinking, a new way of seeing things that you haven't before. I do feel like this is uncharted territory. This is a new arena for you, but it actually leads to something very significant because you have the Two of Cups. This is going to lead to some sort of partnership or attraction, law of attraction, that is. It's almost as if what you are truly seeking on a soul level is seeking you. And that is why you've come face to face with something profound. Now, again, you have the education. Some of you could receive an answer through, a book that you're reading. This could be a spiritual book, or it could be, we're going to do the book exercise. Okay, what number, Spirit? 23. For those of you that have a book near you, at this time, if you have a book, it doesn't matter what book it is, I want you to go over to that book, open up page 23, 2 and 3, which is interesting. 2 and 3 breaks down to 5. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse at the end of your reading here, which means this is something that's going to help you face a fear and overcome an obstacle so you can have this new beginning. So if you do have a book by you, or maybe you have to get up and go to a bookshelf or the next room over, excuse me, turn to page 23. And I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comment section below. It can be a word. It could be a sentence. It could be the title of a chapter. Maybe it's a blank page. something that may stand out to you. Drop it below. I'll enter you into the free reading giveaway. Let me know what is on page 23. All right. Education here is about maybe training, studying, going back to school. Some of you could have a fear that, well, okay, we're not going to say fear, because I feel like this is about you maybe facing something that you may have been either occupied or busy, or again, you didn't have the time, the resources, the information, the knowledge to be able to approach a new opportunity in the way that you would have liked. Okay. And that's why education is showing up, because this is offering you a chance to do something because you have a resource that you didn't have in the past. And it's going to allow you to really go within and face something. And once you face it, you embrace it, right? Once you face it, you embrace it. And that allows you to encompass the energy as a whole. And so often we try to run away from things, right? We don't want pain. We don't want, we don't want to feel the negative emotions or, the hurt or the challenges. So we do whatever we can at times to avoid it. But you are someone who's going to burrow in it, like you burrow in your covers on a cool morning. You don't want to get out of bed. I feel like, yes, this may not be comfortable, but I do feel you burrowing in and you doing some of the work that really needs to be done to face something in a big way. And you're going to come out on top. You're going to come out on the other side, right? Where you have a fresh, healthy perspective. And also for some of you, this is going to be health in itself. You're going to feel more vitality. You're going to feel more alive. You're going to feel more enriched than maybe where you've been. So bottom of the deck, we have soul purpose, we have bliss, we have gifts. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. And this shows up just in time for your birthday, right? November 23rd to December 21st. Some of you are born on the 27th. Okay, some of you are born on the 4th and the 6th. Okay, I am getting those numbers showing up, but I feel like this does arrive here by your birthday, and it's a judgment call that's really going to bring in a lot of happiness. Bliss is the sun, basically, in tarot. It's a wish. It is heaven on earth. It's happiness. It's freedom. So this judgment call's happening in Scorpio season, which is right before you, right? By the end of Scorpio season, heading into your birth month, for those of you sun sign Sagittarians out there, there's going to be a call. And look, it even says the calling, which is what judgment energy is all about. Just in time for your birthday. Beautiful. Some of you, it does have to do with finances as well. It has to do with maybe business deals or money, transactions of that sort. Maybe finances has been affecting your health. Some of you back. I am getting back. This could also be the head. I'm getting purpose, soul purpose. Sometimes if we have migraines or headaches, right? Or it could be something with memory. The crown chakra could be affected here when we're not fully aligned with our purpose. When we feel like we're off track and we're meant to make a change, sometimes those headaches can be quite crucial. And I'm also getting eyes for some of you. Eyeglasses, eye exam, maybe headaches or pressure to the third eye even. But I feel like you're getting answers here. So let's dive into the tarot. Well, here is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a turning point. It's a turning point because a lot of you may have been focused on a past situation. Some of you may have even been stubborn to a situation or felt like other people were being stubborn when it comes to you asking for support or advice or counsel. It just feels like there's been a little bit of impatience. There's been boredom, or there's even been a lack of inspiration. It feels like your emotions at times have taken a complete turn over in this direction and then over in this direction. So swing in that emotional pendulum, where this is a turning point where it feels a lot more stable than the highs and the lows. Sometimes this can even be the card of, maybe a low grade depression. or a full-on depression with the shadow. Sometimes this can be emotional or anxiety attacks at times. This can be feeling the need to reach out, feeling the need to, get some sort of answers. But I feel like if you've done that without success, this is about you going within and really seeking these answers out for yourself. And once you have a baseline, then you can find the right people, naturopaths, Reiki healers, maybe it is traditional doctors, but I feel like you have a support of help here available, a support of resources that finally helps with this emotional turning point that I see for you. And we have the Judgment card. Judgment it's powerful. Judgment is redemption. It's self-awareness. It's a second chance to really go through this spiritual rebirth, because you've gone through the trials and tribulations. You've gone through the highs and the lows. This is about facing something here, facing a fear, or, facing a judgment call and not going back, right? You can't hide from the Jabberwocky, no matter how much we want to. Sometimes when he comes up, there is no hiding. And I feel like you may have judged yourself in a situation. Maybe you felt judged by others, but this is something that once you walk through this portal, you're never going to go back, right? And you see the portal there with Alice. And I feel like you're committing to whatever this journey is. And maybe it's something that you've wanted to realign yourself to. Maybe it's an old value or an old belief that you've had that you maybe fell from the wayside. But when the Hierophant shows up, this is our belief systems based on society, based on, our mentors, our teachers, our role models, our parents. It can be how we grew up. It's basically our church. What do we believe? And why do we believe it? And is it true for us? Or were we taught or told to believe something that it doesn't align with who we are? And that's what you're reevaluating. You're saying, wait a minute. Is this true to my soul self, or was I taught that I had to believe something because that's what everybody did, right? Maybe you went to school for a certain job. Maybe you went to school in nursing and you were taught the traditional ways of healing people, but on a spiritual level, you're like, wait a second, there's so many other ways to heal, and I just don't feel like this is it. So you may be incorporating some of what you've learned into your own individuality and authenticity, because it's through that incorporation where you really are being reborn, and you could take your career in a whole new level, right? Or a whole new direction. For some of you, if this is a relationship, you may be taking a look at, past situations. Some of you, I feel like there could even be a marriage coming in here with the Two of Cups and the Hierophant, or you could be assessing a union or a partnership and saying, do I want to continue committing myself on this path? Is it worth it? Because maybe you've been married for the last 20 years and you thought, well, I've been in it this long, I might as well stay. That's why we have the Judgment show up in our life. Some people may call it a midlife crisis. I always like to call midlife crises like midlife, what do I call them? Midlife adventures or opportunities, because it may feel like a crisis because change can be scary, right? Facing something head on can be scary, but can you look at it from a point of view where this is a new adventure? And if you're not happy with what's going on in your life, in your career, in your health, in your relationships, in your financial sector, in your friendships, whatever it is that you are not happy with, a part of yourself, you have the ability to change it. So often we don't want to be the change that we wish to see because it's hard work. It is. It can be hard work to take action, and that's why a lot of us don't do it, right? Because we'd much rather sit in some sort of comfort zone, which is a bubble that there's no growth, right? But it's work. But I see here you're not afraid to put in that work. And a lot of you have already been doing it. And so there is going to be a judgment call that recommits you to a path that aligns you more with the people, places, and things that you truly desire, that feed your soul. Food for thought here, food for thought. And quite literally, some of you with the detox, food for thought. You could be a baker. You could be someone who loves to cook. This could be nutritionally based. Some of you supplements. I am getting something with food for you. So take that as it resonates. Maybe you're eating some food as you're listening to this, or cooking or baking. But you have the Two of Cups showing up in the upright. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, saying, what have we been running from that we need to face? Maybe some of you, there has been a little bit of a commitment issue that either you have struggled with or someone that you've been dealing with. And that may be where the judgment comes in and says, hey, are we doing this or are we not? Partnerships of all sorts, right? The Two of Cups is, it could be a best friend, it could be a family member, it could be a lover, it could be a child, a parent. And I feel like you're really reevaluating things with the soul purpose. This is about awakening, searching for the truth, searching for the meaning. And this isn't about sugarcoating reality. It's not about potential. It's not about what you hope. It is about sitting in reality right now and taking a look, because your reality is the truth of what's going on. But you have everything within you to be able to make a call to change it if you do not like it. And some of you are like, Mel, you make it sound easy. No, it's not necessarily easy, but to make that choice is the first step, right? To make that choice and to know that you have the answers. And if you feel like you don't, you can find them, because everything is figure outable. Everything that is within your grasp, within your power, which is your thoughts, your emotions, your decisions, your choices, your feelings, those belong to you, Sag, no one else. You have the strength here. Sometimes you forget how powerful you are. Sometimes you let those shadows or those weaknesses bring you down. We all do. We all do, because we're having the same human experience where we have the capability to let ourselves at times drown, right? Or hit rock bottom. We do. It's part of it, right? But the strength here is saying what you do with it. You dust yourself up, you pick yourself up again, and you move forward, because you don't give up on yourself. You have a soul contract that you are fulfilling in every single way possible, even though sometimes it's challenging. When the strength card shows up, instead of fighting, instead of flighting, instead of self-doubting yourself, you're facing something head on, you're gaining the self-control that you need, and you're overcoming difficulty. Kudos to inner strength, because you have it here. You have the courage. And what you're doing is you're coming out of conflict. This could be conflict with yourself, conflict with others. Five of Swords in reverse is saying you fought the good fight, or maybe it wasn't a good fight, right? You fought some sort of battle in the mind with others. And I feel like this is being released, because it's a battle of the egos. Basically, when the Five of Swords shows up, look at the unicorn, look at the lion, and you're represented by the lion here. So you may have been caught in some sort of battle with a unicorn. And look at these two. I mean, the fangs are out. Even this beautiful unicorn looks fierce, right? This unicorn wants to take its horn and just stab the lion. And I feel like there's been manipulation, there's been bullying, there's been a win at all costs, which has bred resentment, bred anger, anger within yourself, anger within a situation, even if this is something that happened 10 years ago. It has everything to do with this Hierophant, everything to do with what you learned, what you experienced, your conditioning, what you've gone through, post-traumatic stress. This is about you finding ways to deal better. And when you deal better, when you know better, you do better. And that's what I see you coming to this month, is you coming to a place where it doesn't mean all of the anxiety and stress and everything you've ever gone through is just going to get washed away, because we know that that's just a fake dream, right? It's something it's not tangible. That's not how it works. But what does work is when we face things and we find ways to be able to deal with what we've gone through. we can shift our perspective, and we don't have to constantly feel like we're in a fight or flight mode, fighting for our lives, fighting for our jobs, fighting for a relationship. That's the constant struggle we all do, is we fight to hang on, we fight to let go. And I just see here that there has been some sort of shadow that you have been maybe running from, hiding from, or dealing with. And this is the month where you look at that shadow. Have you ever had a dream where you are being chased? You're being chased. I hear this often. I'm a huge dream interpreter, and I hear often of people being chased by animals, people being chased by people, or, whatever it may be. And what do we do in dreams is we run from what we're being chased. But if we ever practice lucid dreaming, which this is something that we can do subconsciously in our waking life, is we can face whatever we are running from, whatever is chasing us. Instead of running from it, which is our natural response, we run away from what's chasing us. It's our defense mechanism. We don't want to be killed, right? We don't want to be pained. We don't want to be stabbed by the unicorn horn. But I feel like what you're doing is this dream, this subconscious energy, could be your nightmares, right? Something you're facing here head on. And it's going to give you the knowledge that, wow, this is what I was running from. And it's like you're shaking hands with the devil here. And I don't see the devil in your energy. It's shaking hands with some sort of shadow. And you're saying, okay, I'm going to work with this. I'm going to look at this, and we're going to figure this out. Because you are a part of me. I am a part of you. You're not going to cease to exist just because I see you. The closer you are to the light, the longer the shadow is casted, right? And that's been a huge theme throughout the month of October. And I feel like you're facing it. Let's look at career, finances, money, and wealth. Okay, so we see that there's been some setbacks. Taking one step forward to take 2 steps back when it comes to your career. Setbacks are telling you that you're not ready to enter the next phase. Right? Because there's a setback, because we want to move forward, but there's something you need to face, you need to look at. And that's what I see you doing. Therefore, once you do that, you're going to unlock the next level. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's where judgment comes in here and says, wake up. We're not doing the same thing over and over. Your soul doesn't want to do it. The ego doesn't even want to do it. The ego may have been caught in some sort of a spiral, the spiral or the battle of the ego, but now your ego is even getting sick and tired of it, right? So we are coming into alignment. We're doing something new. Next, you have the student. Here's the new. Here is a new opportunity to learn. What is he holding? A book. Work with a mentor to learn new skills or to teach you how to implement your plans. You could be in a school to pursue higher education or work for a school district. Some of you are learning through research, learning through books, learning through, coaching, mentoring programs. You could be the teacher. You could be learning on your path so you can be the best mentor and help others in a profound way. Teach yourself to succeed with money or get a financial advisor to teach you. Yeah, I feel like this could even be, a financial advisor like it says, but it could also be, a broker or someone who has more knowledge than you do in a specific area. And the both of you can come together and really commit to this path and manifest a dream. That's why you have the 2 of Cups. You're coming together here with Mr. Tweedledum and Tweedledee. And I feel like this is a pair. This is a pair where if you work together, maybe with a student and a teacher dynamic, it's being able to find balance, because this person is also a student, but they're also a teacher, and so are you. So if they have something you lack, you also have something they lack, and bringing it together completes that whole. And if this isn't a person, this is your own light. This is your own shadow. When you bring it together, it creates the whole. Next, you have designer. You are being called to tune into your individuality and express yourself. We talked about that earlier, your own authenticity. This is time for you to design your life. Some of you could be designers. You could be in fashion or art. This could be any artistic endeavor. You could also be discovering new ways to create income. maybe unconventional ways. It says get creative with your finances. Perhaps it's time to discover a new talent. You're very talented, Sagittarius. Don't second guess your abilities and your skills. You know you are on a deeper level, that you have the ability to apply yourself and to really succeed at anything that you commit to and apply yourself to. What are you curious about? What do you want to learn? What is exciting? What is something that you've always wanted to maybe dig into or do? You know, what feels like it's not even a job, you just like to do it? Go down that path. Open up to it a little bit. You'd be surprised. You may be able to make money doing this, and potentially a lot of it if that's what you're seeking. And then lastly, we have science. Keep an open mind. Something is unfolding for you. You can see here that this scientist is looking into the microscope, looking at something deeply, looking at it through observation, right? Through awareness. So be aware, observe something on a deeper level. And it says you could be a chemist, you could be in forensics, a biochemist, or anything in the field of science. Apply a scientific approach to your business or financial problems. So it means look at something on a deeper level. Is this your beliefs that you need to look into this, this microscope and really analyze? Is this a work situation that needs to, be scrutinized in some way, shape, or form? What can we learn about, getting a little bit deeper into it? Because you can't necessarily see it just with the human eye. You can't see it with just the ego. You have to move in to more of that spiritual, more of that intuitive piece to be able to find answers and see what you can't quite see to the human eye. All right. Some of you may be doctors. You may be healers. You may be, I'm getting inventors. Maybe you're inventing a new app or inventing a new program. Some of you could even be working with technology, AI, market research, writing a book. I feel like you are brilliant. You really are. You have the ability to do anything here that you want. All right. What do we have for love? Oh boy. Okay, for some of you, love has been an area of challenge. Here's the not today. Here's the I want to run from it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm avoiding conversation. I'm still upset. Some of you may be angry. This can be boundaries have been crossed. Hurt. There's been a lot of hurt. There's been tears. You see that it's like the hands up on the windshield. And not in a good Titanic way either. I feel like this is, tears. This can be tears. This is, not wanting to deal with it because it's painful. And we all do that from time to time. But I feel like someone was wearing a mask here. And that may have been what hurt the most. Someone was hiding how they truly felt. It feels like someone was in a bit of a delusion, a bit of, a pretending. They may have been pretending for the sake of maybe keeping the peace or telling you what you wanted to hear versus what they truly felt or what you needed to hear. Someone may have even gaslit you or personified you in some way. Maybe even followed your move, followed your role. Like if you do that, I'm going to do that. A mirroring energy. And I feel like all masks are off. That's why judgment comes in saying, okay, we've been wearing a mask. We haven't been honest. We haven't been truly who we are on a deep level. Some of you haven't been honoring your soul self. You've been wearing a mask, hiding behind a situation because maybe you didn't feel like you were enough. Perhaps you didn't feel like you had the confidence. Maybe there was self-sabotage. This can be due to ego, due to fear. Hello, Five of Swords. We don't just want to walk into a situation and start an argument, right? We don't want to argue. It's not our natural state. Our natural state is wanting peace, wanting joy, wanting to feel, elevated and happy and calm. This fight or flight feeling comes in when we have fears because we've been conditioned to believe that fighting or living on eggshells or living in a state of, constant adrenaline is something that has created this sense of not being enough. And I feel like it's very frustrating because some of you have spiraled back around, back into this Five of Swords, and you're like, what the heck is wrong with me? Why can't I just overcome this? Or why can't we overcome this? And it feels like some of you have really been battered. You've been bruised. There's been abuse in some way, shape, or form. Maybe even self-sabotage or abuse. And I feel like that thinking, the ways of doing things are outdated. You have old school here. Outdated thinking based on conditioning. Hello, Hierophant. This is replaying events over and over in your head. Hello, post-traumatic stress or syndrome, right? PTSD. Replaying it out over and over in your head like an old cassette where that cassette has been, coiled around. You can't fix it anymore. If you had cassettes growing up, like I did, I remember it getting entangled in the cassette player and you'd pull it out and you'd be very gentle with it, not wanting to wreck the tape because that was your favorite tape, and you would spool it with your finger and hope that it would last another go around. And I feel like it's time to upgrade. It's time to upgrade to Spotify. It's time to upgrade to a new system, because you're not in 1980 anymore. You're not in 1995. You're not in 2006. You're not in 2020. Whatever events have occurred, you're facing them and you're saying, wait a second. I'm doing this and it's getting me results that I don't necessarily want to see. What do I need to look at? What do I need to face to upgrade my thinking? Here you are, coming to this point of talking. This is about you being interested. Someone could be interested in you. There could be some messages, communication. This is text, calls, emails. You could be speaking up. No more hiding. No more avoiding something. So you start off with the hand up. Not today. I don't want to deal with it today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next year, next week, next lifetime for some of you. But here you are coming face to face and you talking. So if you've been maybe single, this is the month where you say, I don't know if I really want to be single. Maybe I do want to connect. Maybe I want to open up to companionship. And I see that this is the perfect month to put yourself out there. If you are currently in a commitment and you've been bypassing what needs to be said, if you have had this big old elephant in the room that both of you are walking around, but you know it's there, but you're like, not today. I'm not going to feed this elephant today. Maybe if I just don't feed it, it's going to go away. It doesn't work that way. Right? Then it starts to stink. It starts to bleed out into everything. And I feel like you are working through something here. For those of you that are, in a relationship, or this could be with a family member, this could be with a best friend, no more skirting around, no more hiding behind the curtain, no more, not dealing with something that needs to be dealt with within you or within a partnership. This is the month where it's time to reconfigure, find harmony, find balance, and you might have to get uncomfortable. But it's through that uncomfortability that frees you up to have a new beginning. Beautiful. All right, Sag, your reading is a little bit longer today, but I feel like there's a lot to address. Hopefully this gives you something to think about. You may want to save this video, come back to it, listen to it. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of inspiration. But wow, we have the mask showing up again, but right behind it, we have the Bardo. So we have the mask and the Bardo. And these are your archetypes. And I do feel like the masks are coming off here. And this could also be someone that you're dealing with. You're able to see, and look at, we have the shadow and the light. So you're able to see something for the entirety of it, not just bits and pieces. This is the persona, the performance, the reveal. We often think of a mask as something that conceals our identity, yet contemplate the possibility that the mask permits our true identity to be revealed. It allows. The mask gives voice to that which was previously rejected. When this card appears, enact the side of you that is seeking expression, yet was never given a role to play on the stage of your life. You are in the realm of theater, so anything is possible. Speak with the other's voice, embody the other's limbs. You are taking part in the ritual of expanding the self. There may be mischief and deception around, and others may be trying on new masks too. No one is sure who is who. It's likely you've become so attached to a single mask that you need to fall face forward into this perception bending time. Trust it. Perception bending time. Trust it. This really does encapsulate the entirety of your reading here. It's all about revealing what has been suppressed, right? What has been suppressed. And that's what this new moon solar eclipse in Libra on October 2nd is all about, which we're still in the energy of, depending on when you're watching this. There's a lot being revealed. When it's in the dark aspect, when we can embrace the light in the dark, because you've probably been in the dark here, it conceals what is rejected, right? We wear that mask and we see that showing up here. As the Zen koan suggests, meditate on your original face, the one you had before your mother and father were born. Think of a mask or costume you wore that felt empowering. Ooh, this is going to be another exercise or soul work for those of you that want to drop it in the comment to be entered into that free reading giveaway. Drop this as well. I want you to think back to a time when you wore a costume for maybe Halloween, or maybe this was for a play, or maybe it was a night out. Who were you? Drop it in the comment section below. And how did you feel? Maybe it was a witch costume. I wore so many witch costumes as a little girl. Maybe you were a superhero. Maybe you were Catwoman. Maybe you were Batman. Whoever it was, drop it below. And it says, was it marvelous? Was it fun? Who was it that you were being? Is that who is still within you? Whew, I love that exercise. Beautiful. If you want to go further in this, the masks of James Ensor, Joan Jonas, or Jimmy Durham. I'm not sure, that could be looking into maybe their lives. But I feel like a lot of you are really discovering the parts of yourself, going deeper. I mean, this is beautiful. And then lastly here, we have the bardo. This is the liminal, the in-between, the transition. It is said that the bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open up to a higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. Ooh, you guys, I have goosebumps. That's the land in between. And it's beautiful that we're coming up to, Samhain, or, Halloween, which is known as, that in between, the veil thinning. So if you are, into that, this is a really beautiful time to also meditate and maybe even go into a regression of some sort. This is spaciousness, grace, forgiveness, and truth. When it's showing up in the dark, it's torment, it's dislocation, it's hallucination, and it's transient. When the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred. This allows for remarkable healing and vision. The bardo is not to be feared. Take advantage of its energy and recognizing what needs to be resolved. Trust that there is a message for you from beyond. Who is speaking? Go ahead and listen. Go ahead and listen, Sag, because you have a profound awakening, spiritual rebirth happening for you. And it's here. It's now. This is big. This is profound. If this resonates with you, beautiful souls, please hit that thumbs up button. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it most. Feel free to drop your superhero costume or whatever costume you resonate with, or tune to, again, that page, what was it, 23? Drop in the comment section. I would love to hear it. Feel free to interact with others as well. Comment on other people's comments and really uplift and inspire and motivate and help others heal. That's what we're here for. That's what this community is for. Thank you again so much, Sag, for tuning in. Lots of love.